For years, Russia has violated the terms of the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty without remorse. We provided Russia an ample window of time to mend its ways and for Russia to honor its commitment. Tomorrow, that time runs out.
That's right. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo announcing that the U.S. is leaving the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty with Russia. The implications of that, the significance of that, with retired Lieutenant General Jerry Boykin. General, good to have you. What do you make of this?
Well, I think what you see here is a president who looked at this just like he did the Iran deal and the Paris Climate Change Treaty and said, now, why are we doing this? We know they're cheating. We know they're violating it. Why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense. And I think that what he is doing was done the right way, and it is absolutely the right decision. And why did it take, at least 3 administrations before him not dealing with it? Why did it take Donald Trump to come along and do this?
Did we know, General, I mean, back in your day, did you know that this was going on or suspect it was going on? I know it's been whispered that they weren't adhering to this sort of thing, but what changed?
Well, we confirmed it in about 2013, and it became rather public in 2013. But, yeah, we knew before then that the Russians were violating this. So this was no surprise when it was actually announced that they were doing that.
You know, General, I do want to talk about this, but I'd be remiss, since you were in intelligence as well, to maybe give us your thoughts on the battle the president has had, calling out his intelligence team, saying they were wrong about some of these security threats from Iran and elsewhere in North Korea. Now he's kind of saying in a tweet that they're all on the same page. What do you make of that?
Well, first of all, let's just look at it practically. What we saw the intelligence community giving an unbiased, non-political assessment of where the world threats stand today, what affects America. That is exciting to me because during the last 8 years under the Obama administration, we actually feared the intelligence community because of what they were doing to or against Americans. And now you've got a very open and candid assessment that came out. I think the president's reaction initially was just exactly what we've seen before. It was a knee-jerk reaction, but I think that he is now walking that back. And look, he is allowing these people, good people that he selected to run these agencies, he's allowing them to give an honest assessment here, and it restores my faith in the intelligence community, Neil.
Do you think that should be done privately, though, sir?
Well, I think that the president should know what they're going to say before they go up there. But I can assure you that if the president wanted to, if the advisors around him wanted him to take their briefing and get at least the highlights of what they were going to say, it's available to him. But he is the president of the United States and probably the businessman in the world. So I don't know why he didn't know that ahead of time. But that's something for his administration to work out.
But wouldn't they have been able to know amongst themselves, these are all smart folks, that this is, in some cases, a 180 from what the boss is saying? We ought to be on the same page here.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's certainly coordination between the various elements of the intelligence community. And, of course, Dan Coats has the statutory responsibility for the entire intelligence community. So he has to know what Gina Haspel's is going to say from the CIA. So there is that kind of collusion, coordination. But again, I want to say that I was not surprised by anything that they said. Anybody that watches what's going on in the world that stays on top of this was not surprised by that. The only thing that surprised me was when Dan Coats called for a restructuring of the intelligence community, and I thought he was dead on with that, but I did not expect to hear that.
Or that he might not have run that by the president.
Well, yeah, that's correct. But it was in response to a question which... True. But, you know, the last reform was 2004 in the Intelligence Reform and Terrorism Prevention Act, which came out of the 9/11 report. So I think that the fact that he's calling for it is a very positive thing because it is time for the intel world to look at itself.
All right. See, I can challenge you on that, General, because you're on remote. If you were here in person, I would not have asked you that obnoxious question, but you are remote. Always good seeing you, my friend. Thank you very, very much.
Good being with you, Neil.